Here's the guy. Oh, this guy. Oh, come on. Come on, bro. What are you doing? Hi, welcome to another edition of Midlife Rising. My name is Greg, and today I'm going to talk about surf etiquette for beginners. As you guys probably noticed, I tend to not surf in busy surf spots. Well, that's also because I'm not a very advanced surfer, and there's a reason for all that. First of all, when you're surfing is quite dangerous, naturally with the tides, naturally with the waves. Most importantly, you can injure not only yourself but other surfers. So the key for me is, as a beginner surfer, to try to avoid injuring other surfers or getting myself in a situation that is unpleasant. So what I do is I tend to go to places that are less crowded, and well, you're about to find out. As part of my try to practice good surf etiquette, I've never really had a problem because I do. I focus basically on the surf etiquette and respecting other people. And here's the thing I can teach you, because I'm not that good. I can tell you some things about surf etiquette and what makes me successful in surfing without getting myself in any situations. So I hope you enjoy this vlog, and here we go. Okay, it's been well known for years that when you're beginning out surfing, rule number one, don't surf in any waves above waist high. What might be good waves, like a hurricane coming up the coast, or something huge coming up the coast, or the waves might be head high, it's usually a time when you probably should not be in the water. Because especially if it's a rocky break, or if it can only break if you're cutting down the line. Now this is the first 10 to 20 times you're out there. You should avoid those big waves. Right now you're trying to get used to the ocean. You're trying to break any fears you might have. You're trying to deal with a situation. Most of the time people are not going to be, also you're not going to endanger too many people. There are not going to be that many people out in the water in knee high to thigh high waves. And that's usually with your big, hopefully big board. You're not trying to surf your first waves on a small board. You will go out there, and you will go out there in those small waves and try to catch them. So it's really important to focus in on the smaller waves and try to make the most of them. For me, I started out at Alki Beach of all places and catching fairy wakes, and so then I moved on from there and to move up the line to bigger waves as they go. But I still don't ever go above chest high. I just don't want to be out there. I know my limitations, and it's like climbing a mountain. You don't climb Mount Everest in your first try. You know, some people, I guess they do, but these are very expensive guides, but most people do not do that. So that's the first thing that comes up.
Oh, you're good.
Now, the second situation that comes up is you don't surf in busy surf spots. In fact, you try, especially when you're beginning, you don't surf in surf spots that have under or that have over 10 people. In fact, quite honestly, you probably have noticed in many of my vlogs, I'm either surfing by myself or I'm surfing with one or two people in the water. And I do it purposely, to be honest. You have to share the waves with everybody. And that means for every person in a wave, one person theoretically will catch a wave. And if that's not the case, that means someone's dropping in and they can possibly injure someone or get someone hurt. Or they're doing other stuff out there. The point of it is, the more people in the water, the less waves you're going to catch, and the more dangerous it becomes, because you run into human error. Someone doesn't see you and drops in on you, and then their fin goes into you. or you do the same to them. If you're a beginner, you're not going to know when to brake. You're not going to know how to turn out of the way of a person. You're not going to have that skill. So the less people in the water, the better. I tend to actually like to have a couple sessions by myself over the summer. Yeah, some people say it's more dangerous, but to be quite honest, with less people in the water, it's safer. Because to be honest, human on human, from my personal feeling, I don't know if this is true, but human on human injury is much more dangerous than sharks, than even current, especially if you're surfing waves smaller than waist high. I mean, current's not going to be that big a deal, especially when you're beginning your first 10 or 20 times and you're surfing waist-high waves with your nice big 9-foot foam board. So that you have to kind of think about. So yes, try to surf in places that have less people and smaller waves. Behind me at Ogden Point is a classic example of a place that gets small, mushy waves that doesn't have many people. Despite all the people are on the beach, not very few people surf at this spot. Now right now there are no waves, so obviously no one will be surfing here. But when there actually are waves, which are used about 10 to 20 days of the year, there's usually no one here. So I'm usually have the whole place to myself, and usually can end up surfing, well, not usually, virtually all the time. I can spend all the time through low tide surfing this spot for about 2 or 3 hours and not see a soul in the water. And that's a lot of fun. And when you're learning, that's what you really need to do, is just get out there and do that. So you want to pick spots that, aren't that famous for surfing. This is a famous place, just not for surfing. Other places I go would be Alki Beach. I've also Esquimalt Lagoon. I've done, and there's some other spots as well that you'd be a bit surprised if the tides are right, they break. Right now there's no waves, so that's why it doesn't break. But normally this place can break when there's a decent wind in a certain way. It'll break. It'll give you a nice mushy wave for a longboard to catch a couple. And great place to learn to surf. Very, very tame and very, very learner friendly. That's kind of what you want to look for. Okay, number 3 is you get out in the water, there's 1 or 2 people out in the water, and they're noticeably better. Should you hide it and be gusto and just go try to do what you can? I wouldn't recommend that. Would be a good decision. It's number 3, I'd say talk to the people who are more advanced than you. Let them have a couple waves sometimes. That's a great icebreaker. Hey, I'm inexperienced, I'll let you go catch a couple. I'm trying to figure out the spot, something like that. Or B, hey, I'm a beginner, you can tell about my longboard, I'll let you have the wave. What way are you cutting so I can be somewhere else? I go straight. These little communication curves can make a huge difference. Plus it breaks the ice, and most people will respect you. If they know you're no threat in the water of dropping in them or getting them hurt, they're going to be okay with you. And then they also know the communication that you're going straight. Then if they're cutting right, they can literally paddle and catch the same wave you're on, cut right and avoid you. And that's really, they don't have to go around you and loop around you because they know you just told them you're going straight. And most people are really cool, and they will do that. Now, I am lucky to be in British Columbia, and people are normally cool, or really cool, but I don't take advantage of it. So yeah, showing the basic respect, communicating with your fellow surfer really, really goes a long way if there are 1 or 2 surfers, and not going out in the water. If there's a lot of surfers in the water, just, find another spot. Out here, at least, there are plenty of them. I don't know. Some places are a lot busier and it gets a lot harder, but just, do your best with that. Communicate. Communicate with your fellow surfers. Usually gets along very well. Nice ride here. Go, go. Show us the stuff. Still on it. Number 4, along with communication, is have empathy. Meaning, try to put yourself on their shoes. They get a little moody about something, it helps, actually, believe it or not, in communication. Okay, this person's moody. Maybe I want to pick a different break. Maybe he's looking for something. Maybe it's a special first day back from the water. You don't know. Right away. And a big thing you want to do is, if you communicate with them, they'll tell you what direction they're going. But sometimes they won't, and you just have to really keep your eyes open. And, you know, hopefully you don't drop in on anybody by accident. I did one last year. Really nice lady. I dropped in on her, and she was able to move out of the way. And it was the only drop-in I've had since I've restarted surfing in 2021. So it's about 2.5 year radius of going out in water, and probably about 60 times a year, and I dropped in on one person. I'm not very proud of the one I dropped in on, but I can be glad to say that 2023 I haven't dropped in anyone yet, because I pay a very close attention to what's around me, which is critical when you're trying to learn to surf. You want to pay attention to everyone around there, have empathy for them, understand them, and if you drop in, please be quick to apologize. But if you follow the other steps, you probably won't even run into that situation. Number 5, what goes along hand in hand with the other 4, is stay away from famous surfing spots, or surfing spots with really big waves that locals like to handle. You know, try to get a vibe on a place before you actually go out there, especially your first 20 times. Now, if you really get good, and obviously go out to these famous spots and go ride them. But if you're not really good, try to take it slow and really take your first 20 times of really get used to these waves, how they break, where they break, what you're looking for, what you ride best, how to turn. And again, I'm not that good, so I'm not going to tell you you know, when it's the right time, because to me, I don't think it's the right time right now. So that's why you'll still always continue to see me on unbusy waves, and waves usually under, you know, under chest high, until I really get good at the sport. But the thing I would say is stay away from very famous breaks. They usually have huge lineups. Usually there is some localism there. And, you know, like places like Malibu or Bonsai Pipeline. Malibu's not too dangerous, but it has just hundreds of people. Don't go there. Find something that's safer. You're not going to have that much fun, not unless you get really advanced. And as for Pipeline, please don't go there unless you're really experienced, really know what you're doing, and actually have a couple friends in the water too. I wouldn't even go there, even if that. There's plenty of other breaks out there. Please do not load up the lineup. And I just say that naturally. But your first 10, you shouldn't go to any of those spots. You should really focus on your local break. Okay, to wrap this up, number 1, go to number 1, you want to go to small waves. Number 2, you want to go to a place not crowded. Number 3, you want to communicate with your fellow surfer. If there's 1 or 2 in the water, hopefully there aren't too many people in the water, but communicate with them. Number 4, have empathy for your surfer. And number 5, don't go to very famous beaches until after your first 20 days, or you get really advanced in your sport. Those are my surf etiquette rules. The other thing is really pay attention to the water. Really see where people are surfing, and do not drop in on them, because not only can you injure them, they can injure you, you can injure them. There could be serious issues in the water, and that just is no fun for anyone. So pay attention to that, and just do the right thing when you're in the water, and understand a lot of things that are going on there, and don't put yourself in any bad positions, and and you have a lot of fun. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Like, comment, subscribe. There'll be plenty more coming up. There's a lull in the waves, so that's why I'm doing this one instead of actually going out and surfing. That will be Sunday, but by that time Sunday comes up there, that will be the next vlog. Alrighty, take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.